All right. Obviously, extremely disappointed with the end result. Thought we had several chances, but we didn't play well enough. We can be better. Credit to Marquette for causing some of that, but several things were self-inflicted that we need to continue to get better at. So, nice thing is we get to turn around and play again next week and see if we can take steps forward. But effort was there. But I think we got to continue to improve in some of the intangible things and some of the things that are controllable. But like I said, Marquette made plays when they needed to, and we weren't able to capitalize on some opportunities we had. And when you're in a game like that and a highly competitive game, that's the difference between having a happy locker room or an unhappy locker room.
Dimitri, Marcus Howard discussed in their game plan trying to take away your right hand, talked about how strong you are on the pull-up with your right hand. Did you kind of notice that throughout the game, and what were some of the ways you tried to combat that?
Honestly, we expected teams to start to try and take away my right hand, especially in the all-ball screen situation. But to counteract that, we just tried to get Ethan the ball, with drag two with the ball going to the left, and then Ethan was able to make plays at certain times. So there's definitely a counteractive that we have for that.
Dimitri, you did some, I would say, un-Wisconsin-like things. You got into foul trouble early in the second half, missed some free throws, missed some threes. Do you kind of view this as a missed opportunity, especially as close as the game was?
Honestly, I look at it as a learning opportunity, just a chance to get better. We're going to look at the film and see things that I can definitely improve on. But I never try to get too high, never try to get too low during the game. Just try to stay even keel, make sure the guys are ready and know what's coming next.
Dimitri, could you take us through that last possession of regulation? The screen and roll with Ethan, and you threw it away.
Yeah, so I came off the screen, and initially I thought I had the shot, and I went up to take the shot, and the big came up to me, and I thought Ethan was going to end up seeing that, but he thought I was going to shoot it. So honestly, that's a bad play on me. I can't jump to make a pass, and it's just a learning opportunity. So I'm looking at that throughout film and learning to get better.
Ethan, obviously there were some areas that didn't go well for the team today, but you guys still managed to take this game to overtime and have a chance to win. Just this first 10, 11 games or so, what have been your biggest takeaways about this team, and are you still encouraged that you guys had a chance despite things not going well in a few different areas?
I think we know we didn't play our best today, and you can see it in the stats where the shots weren't falling. So you're happy that you're in a game, obviously, when that's not going for you. But we did too many things shoot of our own problems that shot ourselves in the foot, and that's we're not happy about that.
Ethan, if you look at your stat line, 34 points, 11 rebounds, it doesn't seem like there was much more that you could have done tonight. What feeling do you have coming in here with a stat line like that and just with what you put out on the floor tonight?
It doesn't matter about individual stuff, stats, whatever it may be. There's plenty of stuff we'll see on clips, including myself defensively, that we could have done better, and just pissed off on a loss. It doesn't matter about what happens during the game if you don't get the win.
Greg, you guys have been good for the most part, closing out games, tight games. I don't know if there were some times where maybe they lost their poise a little bit. Can you address the play by Brad where he's coming off the screen and it appeared that he hit Hauser a little bit below the waist? What happened there? And
yeah, I didn't see it happen because I was watching things off the ball, or away from that. But I'll see the tape. I mean, when guys are running that hard, I'm sure I know it wasn't intentional. I mean, those guys know each other, so that isn't going to be an intentional play. It's just how and what happens in the heat of the moment in terms of coming that fast and trying to get around the screen that fast and chasing. I think it was Howard at the time. So yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that it happens, and obviously we're in a day and age now where they're going to look at any type of that, whether it's a hook or whether it's anything that happens. You just got to continue to find ways to. We don't teach to do that. So, but I think it was just the speed Brad was coming. He was trying to stay with him and kind of used, Hauser as a catapult to try to get around and ended up hooking him or grabbing him or hitting him, whatever, as he went flying by.
Greg, Ethan's free throw shooting has been well documented, but Brad's been almost automatic, and Meach too. Are you surprised that those guys couldn't knock him down?
Well, I mean, it happens. You have two almost 90% free throw shooters go there, and we leave 5 points on the table. So we have to be able to overcome that. You don't want it to happen. Hopefully, I mean, they've iced so many games for us and made so many big free throws that I definitely want those two guys at the line. So, but there's other areas, as I mentioned, when the ball doesn't go in that we have to be better at, and then you don't put yourself. You don't want to miss free throws, but if you happen to have that or don't shoot it well, you still put yourself in a position to have success if you're better at some of the other intangibles, specifically rebounding and taking care of the ball.
Coach, at the end of the first half and then for a good part of the second half, it seemed like you guys really controlled the tempo and then swung back in Marquette's favor towards the end of the second half and overtime. What can you attribute that to?
They made shots and we didn't. I mean, that's momentum swinger. When we went through a lull where we didn't score, and we missed some free throws during that time, and they obviously made some plays. So,
Greg, I know it's tough to have perspective in the middle of the season or middle of this run. You guys are still 8-2 and had a chance to win today. What's the thing you're maybe most encouraged about through 10 games that you've seen from this team relative to where they ended last season?
Well, we're better. I mean, that's obvious. I'll state the obvious, but I think the biggest thing is in the two games, both this game and the Virginia game, we had chances and we did some uncharacteristic things that we have to get better at in those situations. When we've taken care of the ball, and we've done that for the most part. When we don't, we see what happens, especially when you're playing good teams. So I think the thing you take from this is that we have a chance to be a pretty good team. We're still a work in progress, and the things that have prevented us or will catapult us to being a really good team as we go through the rest of the non-conference and back into conference play are all controllable. They're all things that we can get better at because they're all specifically right under our control as a team.
Greg, 5 of 24 from deep today. From your view on the sidelines, were you happy with most of those looks at least?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go through the film. I thought we had some good ones, and we had the right shooters for the most part taking them. So again, that's you have to be able to find other ways to survive days like that when the ball doesn't go in. But I thought we did have some. I am not sure all 24 we would take again, but I would say my guess is a large percentage of them were good looks that we normally have hit at a better rate.
Coach, right here. Brad didn't have his best game today. With Dimitrik back healthy, how much is Brad still kind of adjusting to that off-ball role that he didn't see as much of maybe last year?
Well, he's not a point guard by nature. So last year he was playing really out of character for him. So he still does. We still need him to guard. We still need him to take care of the ball. He didn't shoot it well today. He'll work at it. He'll be fine. May have had a big charge for us there, or actually Trice had the charge, but he'll be fine because he competes and he knows what it takes to win, and he has that mentality that stirs our locker room from that standpoint. So he'll be fine. He'll play better and he'll produce more. I'm not worried about that. The competitive aspect that he brings to our team is the most important thing, and he's done a good job of that.